Trayvon
and Mike Brown.
4 white cops beat a black man
right here
in our town.
The Los Angeles riots of '92.
A throwback to Watts, reopened old wounds.
1 videotape set the city ablaze.
Los Angeles burned
For 5 torturous days.
This is what happens to a dream deferred
when a people's voice is left unheard.
One LA night, a man woke to lights flashing.
Filmed a man cornered by officers bashing
Baton bludgeoned bone.
and it wasn't discreet.
on the corner of Foothill and Osborne Street.
Video proof of brutality
Once a rare thing.
got 4 cops arrested for beating Rodney King.
Soon angry dark blotches
Of blisters and bruises,
were witness to prove
of systemic abuses, what happens to a dream deferred?
When la voz de la gente is left unheard.
The tension was brewing, but just at a flicker.
Fuel was put on the fire at Empire Liquor.
A black teen was shot in the head by the clerk.
The Korean was captured on tape like clockwork
Arrested for murder, the case went to trial.
16 years slated.
for killing a juvenile.
I know a criminal when I see one.
Said the judge, who was white.
So the clerk got probation and walked out that night.
What happens to a dream
Dream
deferred
deferred
when 모든 목소리 is left unheard?
A year later,
The system, still scared of defeat,
Moved Rodney King's trial so they couldn't be beat.
Away from LA with a mostly white jury.
the trial was held despite everyone's fury.
Officers Kuhn
Howell.
Briseno
and wind.
just had to say King was
undisciplined.
The TVs were live and the heat had grown wilting.
The verdict?
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
not guilty.
Not guilty.
What
happens to a dream deferred?
when a people's voice is left unheard?
Does the dream deferred sag like a heavy load?
Or does it?
Explode. The corner of Florence and Normandy boils.
With crowds disbelieving in justice so spoiled.
helplessly searching for something to target.
Frustrated fists turn to neighborhood markets.
Molotov cocktails and rocks pummel
No
glass.
safe place exists for the blue-collar class.
Abandoned by cops as their livelihood smolder.
Korean merchants strap on guns and make themselves
A
soldiers.
shopkeep stands frenzied in front of her store, yelling
This is America!
like she's pleading.
No more!
Cops sit by their cars. Angelinos lay dead.
And the chief heads to a posh fundraiser instead.
White eyes on the news see the violence with fear.
Black ears hear the sirens and old loved ones near.
Latino hearts get caught up in the heat of the riot.
Korean hands hold on to weapons to fight it.
The system constricts and rips us from each other.
Self-righteously scream, "It's war, motherfucker!" Quarter century later, still justice for none.
Filmed murders by cops
On repeat like reruns. There's no riot or looting today in our town.
The smell of the ashes still lingers
The
around.
fire's not extinguished.
It's burning down low.
And the fuses are stacked up
And ready to go.
And we know what happens to a dream deferred.
When la voz de la gente
모든 목소리
The people's voice
is left unheard.